Hello. Good morning. Hello, hello. Wha- Chair. What? I I come to you this morning running late because I have just experienced great tragedy. I promise this is not serious, but it is to me. I made myself a poached egg this morning. I've been practicing making poached eggs because I want to make eggs Benedict. So I've been making poached eggs. Yeah, let's go! Thanks for tuning in! But yeah, I made myself a poached egg this morning, and then while I was putting it out of the pot to put on my plate, I managed to drop it in between the crevasse of the stove and the counter. So it is gone forever, and I genuinely cried. I was going through it because I dropped my egg. I made a perfect poached egg and then I dropped it. So I had to spend time making another poached egg so at least I could have breakfast. And then a good chunk of time figuring out how the hell I'm gonna clean it up. Because I still haven't cleaned it up because honestly I don't know what to do. It's literally in between the oven and the counter. I can't move it. I kind of can't do anything about that. Yeah, R.I.P. my egg. Gone. That's it for my egg. But at least I have Gundam. I think what we're gonna do is I'm gonna keep working on Barbatos a little bit, but I did in fact that I will probably talking about the Gundam TCG, which has had beta release recently. I did manage to go to a beta event and play and get a beta box, and I will probably spend God knows how long just talking about deck building and mechanics and stuff. So we're gonna wait until a little later to get to Gundam TCG and just unbox. I have the box, so I'm gonna look at it. I'm so excited to look at it. And then I'm going to talk about it more later. We'll unbox it, we'll look at it, we'll look through deck building I've been doing so far. I've been doing a lot of fun stuff with Gundam card game. I played in a beta event. That was fun. That's draft style a little bit. Well, it's sealed. Get a certain amount of packs, you build a deck with it. Which is fun and cool. But now I've just been having a good time of so the beta box has enough materials actually for 2 people. It's meant that you use it with 2 people. So I've just been hanging out with my roommates and we've just been deck building and having a good time. So I have the deck set constructed thus far, some extra cards, some things I'm thinking about, but we'll go through it. Right now, we're just gonna keep working on Barbatos, and I'm gonna remember where I was. What did I last do? Because it has been a hot minute. Because last week was Star Wars Planetary Qualifier. So we were streaming that, and thus not streaming this. And I couldn't stream on Sunday because I was once again working. But I am here and I'm back, and I didn't stream yesterday because I was working. I tend to do things for my work shifts, but I was filling in for someone else, and I did indeed have work in the morning. I had an insane shift yesterday because I filled in for my coworkers morning, like 9:30 in the morning, for like from like 9:30 to 1:30, and then I had my usual evening slot from 6 to 10. So I was like, okay, I guess. What the heck? But that is quite simply life I was living. It was an experience. It was an experience. Thankfully, I probably won't have it again anytime soon. I'm thinking about just. I've been becoming a lot more open to just like Gundam. Well, I like building it as it's intended to be built, because like one of the core things about gunpla that sets it apart from like really any other model kit is that you don't need glue. It's a lot more approachable. It's a lot easier to get into. You actually don't need a lot of like materials to get into gunpla. You don't need a lot of extra odds and ends. Gunpla. I think I also might have this. Need a lot of extra odds and ends and things. You don't need glue. You don't really need a lot. Like, really all you need are like a nice pair of, not even a nice, you just need like a pair of clippers, and then you're kind of set. All you gotta do. Oh. Wow, I love having that fling across the room. It's great. But yeah, one of the things that sets Gundam apart is that you don't actually need a lot of stuff to get into it. You don't really need nice glue or sandpaper or anything like that. Like, you can use those things. Like, obviously I have an entire toolkit of just Gundam supplies that I use, but really all you need are a pair of cutters and then you're done. Which is really nice. And I like building Gundam as they're intended to be built, with just like no glue, just putting it together. But at the same time, I'm like, sometimes bits are just kind of a pain. Sometimes some bits are kind of just a pain and just like don't want to stay where they're, and it makes my life difficult. So I do like them as intended, at least actually. And then if it still causes me problems later, then I'll glue it. But these arm bits are one that I'm definitely thinking about gluing. But MG Barbatos in general. For the most part, there are very few times where I even really think that I might want to glue stuff. Most of the time, I really don't feel like I need it. Like, most kits come together really nicely. At least newer ones. Some of the older ones still have problems. I mean, even then, it still depends on the kit. But like, there's ones like HG, Ilfrith, and Moon Gundam. Like, those guys are, at least Moon Gundam minus its like whole back armor thing. But Ilfrith, like, that thing is solid. That thing is so solid. I have not used a single drop of glue on it. I just slapped it together, and you can like shake it, do whatever you want, pose it, move it, and it is sturdy. It is not coming apart. Sometimes some of the more complicated ones will sometimes want to shed some like little outer armor bits like this, and it is very annoying. Oh, probably just for now I'm just gonna keep it as is, but it's a finishing step that I like. It's now something that's become part of like my finishing. I don't like gluing them into poses. It feels wrong to do that. Like, while I'm building it, I don't like gluing it, but I do like using glue as a tool of like, you know, sometimes this little piece of armor just keeps wanting to come off, and I don't feel like dealing with that, so I'm just gonna glue it. Well, technically left arm. Technically it's his left arm. Right arm. I believe I was... That's what I... at. It's one of the pains of doing stream kits, in that I can really only work on them when I'm streaming. And if I don't stream for 2 weeks, I haven't touched this kit in 2 weeks. And that's one of the rough things about life. But are getting there. I'm also, speaking of like Gundam modification, I have decided to, in the potentially foolhardy journey that is magnetizing some of my Gundam accessories, just some Gundam parts in general. I'm really mostly only thinking about this for kits that have, like, for most kits, I kind of only have, like, one loadout or one pose that I particularly like. So, like, I don't really have a desire to want to swap things around with them. But there are some kits that have, like, multiple accessory loadouts and things that I like. And if I ever want to change it, it is so painful. Because I have to, like, detach the hands and all of this stuff and get this. And, like, because it's, like, attached to it. It's not, like, a little accessory that you, like, plop on there. It's, like, you have to partially, if you want to swap things out sometimes, you have to, like, partially take the thing apart. And I'm like, that's so much. That's so much. So I'm like, what if I just, like, try and magnetize it? Because I know people do that with Warhammer stuff. I've mostly got inspired to do this because I have a friend who modded one of his Warhammer minis to do that. And I was like, that's such a good idea. That's amazing. I should totally do that. But with Gundam. But I also feel like it might be a little easier to do them with Warhammer stuff. Because they're, like, I don't know how to describe it. Like, Gundam is a lot, because Gundam doesn't require glue. It's a lot more, like, mechanically put together, while Warhammer, most of it is, like, you're supposed to glue it on. So it's not that difficult to replace an attachment point that's supposed to be glued on with something that's supposed to be magneted on. Obviously, it's still, like, more mechanically complicated than that, but there's something about that just feels easier versus Gundam, where it's like, okay, with the Warhammer piece, if you want to swap between things, it's like, depends on what you glue on there, versus, like, Gundam, kinda, like, have to take the thing apart, and it makes it so difficult. It makes it so difficult. Oh, makes it so difficult, and I'm just like, try. There it is. Yeah, F2 that it wants for. I think I will probably need, like, it's not like, it's not going to be, like, an easy swap or an easy kind of situation. I definitely feel like it's going to be. I will have to, like, hack off parts of my Gundam and have to, like, drill things in and see what happens. I'm sure I probably will do a little bit of research to see, like, if, I feel like at least someone's tried this before, right? Like, at least someone has to have done this before. So I think it is worth looking into, like, how other people have approached this, and if it's, like, something that can, like, really make sense for Gunpla. But I sure will try. But there also is, like, an amount of personal conviction of, like, I bet I could figure out how to do this by myself. You know? Like, I could definitely look up something online, see if I can find inspiration from other people who may have attempted something like this, and, like, see what they did. But I'm also like, what if I just try and figure it out by myself and see what happens? As just like a point of personal pride. And so I'm like, okay. I still haven't looked it up. I still haven't looked into it, but I do have like a bunch of magnets. And I will most likely start doing it with master grades. Because I feel like, one, those tend to be the ones with loadouts that I want to swap between, and also it just feels like it'll be easier due to a master grade. I think the first victim I was thinking about doing it to was MG God Gundam. Because so I can swap between Burning Hands and like literally anything else. But the more I think about it, the more I'm like, why would I ever want to have my God Gundam in something that's not Burning Hands mode? Like, what's the point of it all? But I do think it might be useful. I think it might be a good little, like, simple-ish kind of guinea pig. If I just, because really, I don't really care that much about the weapons. It's mostly the hands that are a little bit annoying with God Gundam and swapping between them. Because it has like a bunch of different funky little hands, unlike some other master grades, like with Barbatos. Barbatos has like opposable thumbs. Barbatos' other hand has like, sometimes they have like posable fingers, which is its own beast. But MG God Gundam, instead of having like posable fingers, it just has like a bunch of different hands that you can swap between. Because also God Gundam's hands are made out of rubber and not plastic, and not hard plastic. So I just think it would be easier to do that. It feels like a simpler switch. It feels like, something I can probably handle, and then eventually I might be able to build up to something like a lot of my Musume kits, like my beautiful mecha daughters, my beautiful mecha girls. Most of them have like so many fun like accessories and loadouts and things that I want to be able to swap between more easily without having to take apart the whole thing. It's just, and especially my Sosai Shinchotean girl, I really want to be able to like swap between her different accessories and poses and things. But she's also one that, like, if I mess up, it will be more catastrophic. Because it's not like she's a mecha girl necessarily. She's a model kit, but she doesn't, it's like, just looks like a normal girl and doesn't have stuff like armor that I can kind of hide behind. Like, she's a girl. And so if I start, like, hacking her apart, and I don't do it right, like, it would be over for me. So that's a little bit daunting, which is why I want to start with something like God Gundam that I feel like would be a little bit easier, at least just like when it comes to swapping between. I think it'd be easier. I think the other one that I was really thinking about was also Moon Gundam, which is not a master grade, it's a high grade. And that one is like, I don't know, I like his like, I love his beam axe, okay? I want to be able to swap between his blaster gun and the little beam axe and all of that stuff. I think it would be neat. And I would want to do that, especially since right now, the way again, you guys can't see how my shelves or my gunpla collection work at all, but my shelves, since I've moved, are a lot smaller than what I had before. Before I had, I think I mentioned before, I had to part with my beautiful IKEA Detolf because it was just thinking about the idea of moving an entirely glass shelf was insane. And I was like, that's probably not happening. It's so heavy. It's made of glass. If any of it breaks, especially since IKEA discontinued it. At least the exact model that I have. I know they replaced it with like a different glass shelf, but specifically the IKEA Detolf that I have, they don't make it anymore. So if any of that breaks, it's literally over. So I just want to deal with it. So I just left it. Whoever lives in that apartment after me, you're welcome. Which is actually how I came into it in the first place. So I feel like it's right that the way I came into this glass shelf was also because the person who lived there before me just didn't want to deal with moving it. And now I just didn't want to deal with moving it. So you're welcome. But yeah, because I no longer have my like huge glass shelf that was just Gundam, it has been a little bit of a challenge to figure out where I'm putting my gunpla, where I'm putting a lot of my finished Gundam. And it's not quite as crazy. Like, I have wall shelves now, which is pretty nice. I have wall shelves, but I have like 2 wall shelves. The space is much smaller than what my IKEA Detolf was, plus my extra little like expansion wall shelves, because even then my IKEA Detolf still ran out of space, and I started buying these little acrylic mini wall shelves, more like little platforms that I just stuck to my wall and put Gundam on. And I still have those, but even with those, I still have far less display space now. So I've decided to do with my Gunpla what I already do with my art prints, because I have been collecting art prints and things for over a decade. I have so many. I've always liked going to conventions. Have been going to at least like 2 conventions a year since I was 16. And I mean, minus COVID, obviously, but like for many years, I've just been going to conventions. And I buy a lot of prints, and I just have an insane amount of prints, like not something that would even be remotely possible to like just all of them. I used to do like kind of a collage when I was younger, where I'd have like a collage of all my prints, and I did like that to an extent, but then I have so many that it just started getting kind of ridiculous. And obviously I can't buy frames for all of them because that would be insane. So once I moved into my old apartment, I started buying frames for them and having like nice frame prints in spots that I wanted them to be in and things like that. And I was like, this is really nice. I kind of prefer this. But the trade-off with that is that I just don't really play most of my prints at any given time. So what I would do is I'd swap them out seasonally. Every few months or so, I would just like swap out the frame prints that I have with new ones. So that way, like all of the prints in my collection felt like they had a time to shine, which is nice. And it just keeps things feeling nice and fresh. So I'll probably be doing something like that with my Gundam now, where I have an amount of them displayed now, but I still have so many that are not displayed right now that are like finished. And I'll probably just swap them out seasonally, especially like as I build them. I like continually build Gundam and I just have more to display. Probably just every few months, I'll probably just swap out what's on my shelf and see how that goes. Which I think it'll be fun. And it makes the ones that do get displayed feel a little like, oh, here for a few months and swap it out with something else. And that's also why I feel like being able to swap between loadouts and things would also make my life easier, because I will probably once I go through more of my Gundam, I'll probably swap back to ones that I've had before, but maybe I would just want to do like a different pose and loadout and stuff like that, and instead of having to take the thing apart and put it back together, I can just not do that. I can just... Oh, this just... I put that on. I can just magnet them out. I can just go pop and pop them back on, depending on what I'm having. How did I forget how to hide? No. Okay. Okay. I don't think. Definitely did not mess up putting it together. This way. First, that little fell off again. I will probably glue it. How did I? Yeah, like these. I think that's kind of been my one gripe with Barbatos so far. But usually I don't know, man. It's kind of funky because Barbatos is one that's like hailed as one of the best master grids of all time. And I do kind of agree because there's a lot of fun little odds and ends that I find fun and fascinating. I'm right. That. Attached to. So, I know exactly what I'm doing. Honestly, just glue. I know. Technically, stuff is. But sometimes, you gotta do what you gotta do. And I don't like gluing the joints together, but sometimes do it so that it won't come off anymore. It's gonna impede the gonna really affect anything else besides this one piece and whether or not it comes off. Anyhow, I hope you all have had a better brunch than I have, dropping my entire poached egg into an impossible crevasse. I still have to figure out how to clean that up. I truly have no idea what to do about it. It's just stuck there, and it's like that crevasse, like it doesn't get cleaned. It is the crevice between the stove and the counter. Like you can't get in there, you can't move it, you can't do anything. So like you can't like stick a vacuum in there, you can't stick a broom in there, you can't really do anything. It's kind of just stuck like that, and I'm like, oh, and it's the winter, so I'm gonna get bugs or mice. Oh, because that's a whole egg. I'm so upset. At least, like, I made another egg. Not that bad. I still made another egg. I still was able to eat an egg for breakfast. Ordered an omelet. Sounds great. I'm glad. I'm glad at least someone is having a positive egg-based experience. Omelets are great. I should make. I don't know why. I like omelets. Usually my default egg like way of eating an egg is an omelet. It's just like you just crack it into a bowl with whatever else you feel like putting in it, and you're kind of done. But lately I've been experimenting. I made the little like egg in the hole toast the other day, and it was really fun and cute. Where, you know, you make a little hole in the bread and you crack an egg into there, and then you cook it like that. And I prefer runny eggs. I'm someone where either it's gotta be completely scrambled or it's gotta be like raw runny. I like soft boiled eggs. I like sunny side up. I like poached eggs. And so I have been bit other. Oh, this is but I've been making one egg based. The egg in the whole toast was fun though. Egg in the whole toast was fun though, where you like cut out the little, and then I toasted the little chunk of bread that I cut out. So I just had a little disc of toast. It was very funny, but it was good. Cracked the egg into there, and I put a bunch of cheese, cut up some turkey bacon, and all like sprinkled it on top. Flipped it over and somehow managed to cook the egg just right, because if it gets cooked too much, I don't like it anymore. I don't like when the yolk is hard and it's like it doesn't taste as good anymore. I like runny yolk. I like being able to dip stuff in it. So if I cook this too much, it's over for me. But I've been having it. Oh. I'm a firm egg enjoyer. You know, it's okay to be wrong. Okay to be wrong. I feel like most people are firm egg enjoyers. I just feel like that is what most people are like. Most people in my family are firm egg enjoyers. Both of my roommates are firm egg enjoyers. It feels so difficult to be a runny yolk enjoyer and a hard egg enjoyer. Because it's always like, well, what if you get salmonella? And I'm like, I'm not gonna get salmonella. Eggs are pasteurized. Eggs are pasteurized. Unless I'm plucking it from the chicken myself, that's a pasteurized egg. You know? And it's not like I'm not cooking. It's still getting heat. You're just heating it just enough that it's not fully cooked. But it's still heat. It's not like I'm eating a raw egg, okay? Not bad. But I am a big runny egg enjoyer. I don't really like firm eggs. I don't know why. Once an egg yolk like firms up, it just has the texture of chalk to me. And I just can't get behind it. When I was a little kid and my grandmother would make me fried eggs, she is a hard yolk enjoyer. My mom too. They're both hard yolk enjoyers. They would make me a fried egg and they would, cook it till the yolk is hard. And I didn't like it. So then I would just let my grandmother eat it because she likes just the yolk. And I, to this day, feel like it was a conspiracy. I think she did it on purpose because she knows I didn't like hard egg yolks and would just make them for me, knowing that I would inevitably end up just giving it to her. I think my grandfather was the only one who understood that I didn't like that would make a fried egg with a yolk. Oh, I just can't toss it yet. But that is the egg-based life I've been living. Now I'm curious if anyone else out there also a firm yolk enjoyer. If you're a firm yolk enjoyer, just hit that dislike button. I'm kidding. Please don't do that. If you're a firm yolk enjoyer, only way to feed grandma. Yeah. Otherwise, it was over. That was the only way she was getting fed. By eating egg yolks that I didn't eat. Anyway. That was the sacrifice I've made. I also need... I think the thing I will embark on. The heck? Sorry, my friends love sending me pictures of characters they think I'll like, and it it both delights me and upsets me how predictable I can be. Where it really is quite easy, but I'm like, I mean, I think I'm pretty open about it. You give a character an eye patch, I'm sold. That's sometimes truly all it takes for me. Is you just give a character an eye patch and automatically I like them now. And it is a difficult thing that I have accepted about myself, that it really is that simple. And so every time one of my friends like encounters or sees like a beautiful eye patch character, it just gets sent to me, and it works every time. Like, I've been typecasted. I really have been typecasted. Like, truly, every time someone is trying to convince me to watch or read something, they're like, listen, there's a beautiful eye patch character in it, and I will watch it. That is enough. And I hate that it works. And it's just so easy. So I got a notification because my friend has once again sent me a beautiful eye patch character. I don't know who this guy is. I will probably watch whatever he's from though. I have to Google. I'm afraid it may be a mobile. If it's a mobile game, then I hate mobile games. I don't like playing mobile games. I never play them. It's a game. It's a mobile. Oh, they can't keep doing this to me. Giving me beautiful characters with eye patches from a... I don't play a... Diagnose him. I hate gacha games. I've tried. Okay, I have a lot of friends who are into gacha games and stuff, so I feel like it gets like osmosis. The knowledge gets osmosis to me of how they are and what the stories are and what they're like and who the characters are. Like, I can identify and I know most characters from like most popular gacha games just because I have friends who like them. And I just look at them, I see them on my feed a lot because my friends post about them. That's simply what happened. But I've had people try and get me to play them so many times, like, oh, this one's easy, you like it, you'll probably like it, the story's actually pretty good in this one, try it. And inevitably, I will try it. I'll give it a whole college try, because I am fair. And then I will play it for like I'll play it for like 3 seconds. I'll play it for like a week. I think my average for a lot of these games is maybe like I play it for about a week, and then inevitably I will abandon it. I cannot do it. If the core if I have to like pull on a lottery system to like play the game and like get units and or cards or resources, whatever, in order to like actually enjoy and play this game, I can't do it. I just don't have the patience for it. I just want like, I think one of the only gacha game, like technically gacha games that I actually do, like am like somewhat active in is Project Sekai. That's because I barely engage in the gacha. It's a rhythm game. I just play the rhythm part. I just play the rhythm game part. I don't even really play the gacha part. And technically, like, playing the gacha part is how you get more points in the rhythm game part. But you really can still just play the rhythm game. Like, don't eat the gacha part. I just play the rhythm game. And I have a good time where I just play it like a normal rhythm game. And I just barely engage with the gacha part of it. So that one is an exception. And then I did also play Genshin for a long time. I think I actually did play Genshin for like over a year. I was like an active Genshin player for over a year. And then the story just got to a point where it was just kind of boring for me. And I couldn't do it anymore. And also, I pulled the like one gacha character I actually cared about. Because luckily for me, most of the characters that I actually liked in Genshin were ones that were easier to get. Like, for whatever reason, instead of getting attached to like the flashy 5-star characters that are super hard to get, a lot of my favorites were like 4 stars, which are a lot easier to obtain in the gacha. Or one of my favorite characters in all of Genshin is someone you get for free at the beginning of the game. So I was living my best life. But there was like one character that I really wanted. It was a 5-star, and that was Klee, because she was just like cute. She's a little fire baby, and was like integral to how, like, just like gameplay wise, like mechanics wise, I really like her because she just makes things explode. And this is integral to how I want to play the game, because my main guy like was Beto, who's electricity. Also, she has an eye patch. She was also one of my favorites. She's a 4-star. See, life is so beautiful this way. And electricity and fire, when they come together, they like super explode. And I just thought that was amazing. And I needed to combine their powers. And so I desperately wanted Klee. And then I got Klee, and then I quit the game. Because I'm like, I don't need, like, that's it. That's kind of it. And there's like one other character that I kind of want, but it's, of course, another eye patch character, but it's a character that is like in the story but isn't in the gacha yet, and that's because he's probably going to be like a late endgame character. So I have a lot of time if I ever want to play this game again. But the gameplay was actually pretty fun. Like, I was still able to have fun with the mechanics and the world without like super engaging in the gacha part of it. But once a game has dailies, I can't do it. Hello! Hello, hello! Once a game has dailies, I can't do it anymore. You're expecting me to set aside a portion of my day every day just to like play the game? I can't do that. You can't expect that kind of commitment from me. You can't do that to me. So that's why I can't play gacha games. I inevitably will fall off of them. It just doesn't work. It just doesn't happen. It's so difficult. But anyhow, Barbatos has an upper torso. And as always, I really love this about a lot of master grade manuals, where it's got these little, like, I love the insert pages, okay? I really love the insert pages. Yeah, that's just a majority of modern games. I know. Believe me. I am aware of this painful reality. It's why I like just don't play a lot of multiplayer games. I just can't do it. I like games that I can like pick up and put down as I want to. Like, I tried playing. That's also why I can't play MMOs. I've tried to get into so many MMOs and just none of them stick. Like, I don't like it truly. I'm sure the story is amazing. I'm sure the gameplay is really good. But once it demands that I have to like just grind every day to like keep up with the game, it's over. Like, I tried getting into FF14. I even got into it with friends. Like, it was my friends that wanted me to play the game. And so I started playing the game. I played the entire, like, free chunk of the game before it starts making you pay for it. And I'm like, you know, it's not bad. The story is good. Like, it's a Final Fantasy game. The story is pretty solid. And the gameplay is not bad, especially when I can, like, just hang out with my friends and play it. But then it got to a point where I was like, I have to, like, grind, like, if I want to play something else. Yeah, indie games really how it is. I mostly play indie games. Speaking of games, it's not an indie game, but I did finish, finally, Tears of the Kingdom. I kid you not, I bought this game on launch. I pre-ordered that game. I took the launch day off of work so I could play it. And then I got like 80% of the way through the game, and then I just stopped. And I just didn't touch it because I'm so bad at these things. So bad at finishing things. But I, after all this time, have finally finished Tears of the Kingdom, and I'm very happy. I love Tears of the Kingdom. Whoa, this one has English in it. Right, back to the gunpla. This one has English in it. That's really cool. A lot of them are not so nice to you. A lot of the time, you're lucky if you get any English. But this one's actually really cool. It's got the English translation in there. This whole little chunk just talking about this whole little like story chunk just talking about like a fight between Barbatos and Gundam. Yeah, MG Barbie. I have an HG Barbie that I'm probably gonna paint pink. Just so. And then all the little mechanic specs. I love the inner frame, outer frame, and walking you through the inner frame and the outer frame. You get a little thing about Mikazuki. It's fun. Weapons. Honestly, Barbatos is another candidate for a gunpla that I want to magnetize, because I like the various weapons that Barbatos gets. Though obviously I love his massive like pike mace the most. All our newer models have English, older models don't. Yeah, that generally is how it's been. Where a lot of the newer ones are nice to you and give you English, but even then, I think it's kind of rare for even the insert pages. Like, sometimes some of the newer, like a lot of the time, newer models will have English in the instructions part, but the like little insert pages will still be entirely Japanese. So they're not like necessary to be able to build a model. It's just a fun little flavor thing. But I like that even the insert pages have English translations. Nice. Like all of this little like the character profile on Mikazuki and all the like weapon loadout stuff is all his little English subtitles. Fun and nice. I feel not as much. But now that I feel like we've gotten to a good spot with Barbatos, the next step is the legs. Okay. I think I can ethically start talking about the Gundam TCG. I think I can ethically transition this stream to a TCG unboxing. I think we can do that. Because I've been itching to talk about the Gundam TCG. I have been having a lot of fun with it. Honestly, okay, I say unboxing, I honestly will probably just end up walking you through how to play the game. Because I like the game, and I've been having a lot of fun with it. Should I get MG Zeta Plus or HG Zeta Plus? I like Zeta. Honestly, I'd go for the Master Grade. I've got an HG Zeta, and I really like. Not HG. I've got an MG Zeta, and I really like it. It's really fun. It's slightly older, but it's not that much older. You'll get the benefits of newer Master Grade. Some of those older Master Grades are just like painful to put together. But I really liked MG Zeta. So honestly, I would go for MG. I'd go for the MG Zeta. But yeah, I will probably just end up walking you through how to play the game because there's a lot of fun and interesting things that it does mechanically, and I'm incredibly biased because I love Gundam, but I'm also like not a huge TCG person. I play enough. Like, I work at a card shop. Like, I kind of have to know how to play. I like know how to play Magic the Gathering because I feel like I should. I'm not like dedicated to it at all. I've played Standard a few times. I've drafted a few times. I have my pet commander decks. That's kind of the extent of my MTG. I really only got into it because I work at a card shop where our primary demographic is Magic players, and so I've dabbled in a couple other card games. Like I've played Pokemon. I think it's fun and neat, just like for fun. I'm not competitive in anything. There's a couple other card games I like. I like Wheatcross. I like my first one was Fire Emblem Cypher, which is a dead card game that I still really like, though it's dead and never got licensed in English. But this is all to say, I'm not really a dedicated TCG person. I'm not someone who genuinely just enjoys playing card games for fun a lot of the time. It's not really a hobby I gravitate to. But I really like the Gundam TCG. I've been having a lot of fun with it. Of course, a lot of that is because I like Gundam. But mechanically, I think it is pretty fun, though. I actually do think it's pretty fun. It plays very similarly. It plays very similarly to Digimon because it's a Bandai card game. I don't really have a lot of experience with other Bandai card games. Like I said, yeah, strong words from a Vanguard player. I have dabbled in several Bandai card games just because I have friends who play them. We sell them at the store. Like, I feel like I should know. You know, I've dabbled in Digimon. I've played Vanguard. I've dabbled, but I'm not really like super into it. So I haven't played a lot of the other Bandai games. I've never played the Dragon Ball ones. I've never played One Piece. But I've heard that mechanically Gundam is pretty similar to them. I've heard that like a lot of Bandai games just do a lot of similar things mechanically, which I suppose does make sense. But I don't have that context, and thus it doesn't matter to me. But I like Gundam. Just from the jump, the box is this. Like, it's got this beautiful, like, embossed detailing. Nice. It's so clean looking. It's just really, like, honestly, I kind of really wanted a beta kit just for the box. Like, I have a friend of mine who's been to, like, 4 of these beta events, and I was very willing to just be like, can I just buy one of the boxes from you? Because I just think it's really nice. The packaging is everything. And initially, fun fact, I wasn't originally going to be able to play in one of the beta events because I registered for the one at the store that I worked at, but it filled up so fast that I ended up being put on the wait list. And I was like, oh man, I guess I'm on the wait list. And then I found out that I was working that day anyway, so I was like, well, I guess that's it for me. I guess I don't get to play Gundam. But then, by sheer luck, enough people didn't show up, because the weather was pretty bad. Enough people didn't show up that it managed to get to my spot on the wait list. And my boss was like, you know, everything's really slow, the weather's bad. If you want to play a round of Gundam, and that's exactly what I did. I played Gundam, and I was able to buy one of the beta boxes, and it's made me happy. It's very fun. But even since then, I played in the beta event where you get your packs and you basically just like deck build from the packs that you have, and then you just play against people. I only got to play one round, but since then, a single beta kit has enough stuff for 2 people. So I've just been like playing, and I ended up like drafting again with my mate, and it was really fun. And also just since then, we've all been like playing against each other and deck building and stuff. So it was just the box has already been taken apart. This is a little bit irrelevant. In here is just like, oh yeah, the instruction things. The instruction things are nice because they give you the instructions, but also there's 2 pages of instructions with 2 different things, like instruction sheet. But each instruction sheet is also a playmat, which is really nice. Instruction sheet. So, instruction sheets are also playmats. We're gonna zoom out more. Instruction sheets are playmats, which is nice, which just helps you game. Probably explain the game mechanically a little bit, just so that my deck building stuff makes sense. But just looking, man, everything about this is fun. Yeah, as you can see, I've already taken out the box. There's 2 sleeved decks in here because it's played with 50 card decks. And so this blue one is my roommate's, and this one is I have my Hatsune Miku sleeves. I have my Miku sleeves. And then these are all kind of just like tokens and extra cards that we're still kind of deck building with. One of the things that I like about this game mechanically compared to, like, say, Magic, is that resources, basically mana, is guaranteed to you, versus I never liked in Magic, you kind of have to just draw into your lands. Like, and if you don't draw into your lands, or you're not playing a color that, or you're not playing green, basically, that's just mana ramp, like, it's kind of just over for you. And I never liked that. I kind of prefer games like Weak Cross, where it does still make you, like, the way, you know, power, like Weak Cross and Cypher, the way power works is any card in your hand can be used as mana. Like, there is basically a phase where you pick a card from your hand to put in the mana zone, and now that card is mana. So it's not like you are out of options, but there is still an amount of thought of like, oh, which of my cards am I going to basically just discard for mana? Plus there's a bunch of mechanics of like certain cards that are meant to be put in the mana zone and have effects you need to like being put in the mana zone. And I've always liked that, because that way it's kind of impossible to get like mana screwed, basically, or you'll always be able to, but it's still like an amount of skill is required to like decide what cards are you putting there and how you're managing it. Gundam is a little simpler. There's an entire just like resource like side deck that you just get to draw one from every turn. The X resource is one that just gets spent once you use it. Usual resources is like once you use it, it gets tapped, and then I guess I can't say tapped. Tapped is proprietary to Magic the Gathering, but once you expend it, you just like can't use it in that turn. But then it gets refreshed. But EX resources don't do that, so everyone gets one. And yeah, every turn you just like get another from the resource deck. So I think that's pretty simple. It's less complicated than like Recross and Cypher, in the sense that you don't have to think about like what card you're putting there. It just is guaranteed to you. But I will walk through my deck. I guess I can't really super walk through my... I mean, we can look at it, but I can't really explain his thought process like I can explain mine. There's 3 colors in the game. There's blue, white, and green. And for a deck, you have to pick 1 or 2 colors. You can't have all 3. You can only have up to 2. You can play monocolor, but it really doesn't work that well to play monocolor, at least at this point in the game, with just what's in the beta kits. The person I played against during the beta event was playing monocolor white, and I just kind of felt bad for him because it just felt like his deck was missing something. Because each color, kind of similar to any card game, each color has their own unique mechanics. But when you limit yourself to only one color, your deck kind of just like feels unfinished. Your deck kind of just like feels unfinished. And it made the game very hard for him, and he ended up losing. And I felt bad, or I was like, oh, kind of screwed himself playing monocolor, where you kind of just have to pick 2. But it is fun though to like decide what combination you're doing. When I was playing in the beta event, I played blue-white, which seemed to be the most popular combo. That's kind of the meta right now, is to play blue-white, because white is very valuable to have. Yeah, hopefully that is fixed as more cards release. I honestly think it will be, because right now the card base is so limited, it kind of is impossible to play monocolor. But I feel like as they add more sets and print more cards, it'll get fixed. I think monocolor will be more viable as more cards exist, and you don't just feel like at a disadvantage from if you basically right now in the beta, if you played monocolor, you were just at a disadvantage because you just had less mechanics to play with. And it's like, yeah, sure, you get more of the cards that you need. You're more guaranteed to get the cards that you want, but that is far less valuable because there is a lot of mechanical overlap. Like, unlike Magic, where every card has like a very unique effect, most of the time, I mean, of course not all the time, but it's more rare for a card to have an effect. Most of the time it's kind of just like a guy, and that's how that is. The reason why white actually the kind of meta was blue-white. White right now is the only color that has the blocker tag. No other color has blockers. And blockers do exactly what you think they'll do. I think this is about when I probably do want to explain how the game works mechanically, so that people know what I'm talking about when I'm just like saying things and I'm just like saying mechanics and you're like, not like, why does that matter? Like, okay, this is when I will say what all the mechanics do. It's even, like, I'm not a card game player. I was able to pick it up pretty easily. It's not super daunting, which makes me happy. Because I'm not that familiar. Because there's a lot of things that just come easily if you play enough card games. Like, most of my friends are super dedicated and into these, while I'm not. and so a lot of these mechanics and rules just comes very easily to them because they're just shared between most card games. Like, you don't necessarily need to follow the layout of the playmat, but it just makes sense this way to do it. I feel like it just makes more sense to do things this way. The basics are that there are 4 different kinds of cards. There's units, there's commands, there's... Wow, I love that. I just picked up the first half of my, like, a chunk of my deck and there was nothing. There's pilots, and there are base. And there are... They all have their own role, as most card games do. 4 basic card types. Units are pretty simple. They're robots. The units are the mechs. A unit, it's a robot. Pilots. Units you can kind of just play whenever. You play a unit, and when you would be playing a card, you can play units. You can put a unit on the field by itself and just have it exist, and it'll just be a mech that's there. Pilots work more like equips. You can't play a pilot just raw, because that just doesn't make sense. You can't just have like a guy fight a robot. The guy's just gonna die. If you're gonna play a pilot, you have to equip them to a unit. You have to equip a mech. And that way, you can get, usually, all pilots have like a stat boost, and a lot of the time they'll also have like a little effect that they get for when it's paired. But then there's something called linking, where I guess this one is a bad example use as a link unit, because this one can't link. But there's some units that have an extra little bit of this extra little bit of text at the bottom. Usually it says like either a specific pilot or like a trait. Sometimes it says trait. Like this one says Earth Federation trait. But this one is RX-78. It's the guy. It's Gundam. It says Amuro Ray because that is his intended pilot, which I do have in this deck. I have Amuro Ray. So if I were to equip, technically I can equip anyone I want the RX-78. Like, I could have Hiro Yui pilot the RX-78. Like, the game is not going to stop me. And if I do that, I still get his effect and his stat boost. But the benefit that linking has is that sometimes there are certain mechs that have like an effect that most of the time this effect, like this one says when paired, and it says when during pair. Most of the time, most effects are fine in just normal pairing, but when it's linked, some of them have specific link effects, and when it's linked, basically the unit doesn't have summoning sickness. If you summon a unit that's linked to a pilot, that doesn't have summoning sickness. Otherwise, everything else has summoning sickness. But you can't use it immediately. You have to wait a turn until you can attack or do anything with it. But if you link it, you can just chuck it out onto the field and attack immediately, which is pretty sick, which is pretty nice. And it's fun. But the basic, and then command cards, pretty simple, it just does something. I play this, it lets me draw 3. Woohoo! I get to do whatever's on the card. It's a little more complicated, there's some commands that are also pilots. This is technically a command card. It has a thing, I play the card, I get whatever this is. But I also can play him as a pilot if I wanted to. Or if I wanted to, he's my base team, I can link him to a white base team mech and it'll function and I get a little stat boost. But otherwise I don't get to use his command effect though if I equip him as a pilot. And so that's the basics of the different card types. Oh yeah, and then I forgot, there's bases. Bases get played in specifically the base area. So this game functions kind of like Pokemon in the sense that you have prize cards, except the prize cards aren't from you knocking out your opponents, it's from when you take damage. Because functionally at the beginning of the game you're supposed to put 6 random cards in your shield area, just like face down. And you start the game with like there's a token that's EX base. It's just like the basic base that everyone starts with. And when your base gets attacked, it takes damage. And once it dies, then you start taking shield damage, which is for every shield damage you take, you have to expend that card. That's now either usually it just gets like usually just gets discarded, but some cards have like a quote-unquote burst effect where it has like a thing. Wow, I love that. Yeah, this Char has a burst effect, which means when he gets pulled from my shield zone, I get to do whatever the burst effect is, which is pretty nice. And most of the time the burst effect is I now get to put him in my hand, and now I just have Char, which is neat. And so, generally, you can either attack. So, let's say I've got my Magnek on the field, and I want to attack. You can either attack specific mechs, or you can attack the shields. Like, you can attack the shield zone, which is, first the base will take damage, and then once the base gets knocked out, then you'll start taking shield damage. That's one of the values of having a base, is now you have, like, oh, now I'm not just immediately taking shield damage, I have a base. And also bases usually have like fun little effects that they do. Like this one, Falmel, it's the Xeon base. When I deploy it, I get to just like make a Charzaku 2 token, basically. It's pretty there's other bases like White Base I also have in this deck, because as you can see, I'm playing this one that I've built is blue, which is a little bit of a challenge because the meta definitely is to play white in some way, because white is the only color with blockers. The reason why blockers matter is you can either attack a specific unit, but again, you can only attack units that are tapped, basically. Like, if my unit is upright, it can't be attacked. But if I've attacked with it or blocked with it previously, then it can be attacked. That's how that works. But for the most part, the way blockers work is attacks are done one at a time. Like, if I want to, let's say I'm attacking my opponent's base with my Magnak. I tap my Magnak, and then my opponent has an opportunity to block. But blocking can only be done with cards with units that have the tag blocker on them. And the only cards that have the tag blocker on them are in white. Like, see, the Astray has this little blocker tag on it. Like, let's say my Magnak is attacking my opponent's base. They can tap my opponent, if they have Astray, can tap Astray, and Astray takes this damage instead of the base. And it also works with other attacking units. Like, let's say I want to attack one of my opponent's units. They can still block. Astray can still block. Which is really valuable. Because now you're just, you can redirect. Like, the ability to redirect damage is huge. And then after that, you can, like, the playmat walks you through, like, all the phases of attack step, block step. Action step is there's certain cards, like certain commands that say have action timing on it. It's basically instant speed, like in Magic the Gathering. It's basically instant speed, where you can just like, oh, it's action step, I'm gonna play whatever, this command card that lets me do something. I think I have a couple of command cards that have the action step. There's one specific one that I'm looking for that's really good. Quattro, my beloved. Oh, where are you? No, he's in. There he is. Quattro. Quattro is technically a command card, but I can also play him as a pilot. He has something that's action timing, where, yeah, if my... Basically, it's like, oh, someone's trying to attack my shield, and then I can't block, but then I can, during action timing, I can just play Quattro and say, actually, you can't attack my shield area if you have some less that's like level 4 or lower. Figure it out. And that's basically like a counter spell. It's pretty fun. And then there's damage and all that stuff once an attack goes through. And so that's why white is kind of the meta. Playing white in some form is kind of the meta right now, because being able to block is huge. Just being able to redirect damage is a lot. It just means that, oh, if you have blockers, that means your shield isn't taking damage. Or if there's a unit you want to protect, it won't take damage. It'll just go to whatever is blocking. But, you know, that's why I played blue-white in the beta event. Because blue is also really good. Blue is... The mechanics that blue has is pretty funky and simple. Blue is a lot about, like, just card draw and card, like, rotating. There's a lot of units and effects within blue that let you draw cards or cycle your hand and things like that, which is also very valuable. It's pretty sick. Pretty neat. So blue-white has kind of been where it's at. Even within the colors, there's more division, because each color has... It's not, like, unique to one Gundam series. In case you couldn't tell, like, Neon is green, but so is stuff from Gundam Wing is also green. I think as of this point, each color... At least in the beta, each color has 2 different Gundam series in it. Each color has, I believe, green is currently Wing Gundam, and also just like Zeon stuff. Basically 2 different factions. Like, each color has 2 factions in it as of right now. It's not perfect, but that's generally how it is. Green has Zeon, but green also has Operation Meteor, which is Wing Gundam. But the enemies from Wing Gundam aren't in the game yet, so I guess that's technically... I say it's Wing Gundam, but technically it's only a faction of Wing Gundam. They probably will introduce the other faction later. But that's how that is. Blue is the one that's like a little more complicated, because blue has... Blue has, like, well, actually, I think it kind of is pretty evenly, well, not even. Blue kind of only does have, like, 2 factions as well, if I think about it. Blue has, Earth Federation, which is, you know, the classic, Blue has, Earth Federation, which is RX-78, Amuro Ray, Hayato, Kai. Like, this is all, like, OG Earth Federation, the good guys from Gundam. But Blue also has Gundam Unicorn. Here's Benager, and here's Unicorn. The problem, though, right now with Blue, the one, like, really annoying about it, though, is... But, like, while the other colors are pretty evenly split between their factions, like, I would say playing green is pretty 50-50 between Zeon and Operation Meteor. It's a pretty even split of between Zeon and Gundam stuff. I'm like, oh yeah, it's pretty cool. Like, I've got, you know, Rickdom, but I've also got this mag. Yeah, I've got Wing Gundam in here, like Shenlong. I feel like it's pretty evenly split and equally powerful. Versus, and white is similar. We'll go through white before I go through. Actually, I'd probably be better off at my stick because he's playing white. White is split between Gundam Seed and Witch from Mercury. Which technically, okay, the faction, so Astacastia, which is like technically the good guys, like you got Soletta, and then you've got Ghoul, but you've also got like Strike Gundam, you've got, yeah, that's one of the guys from, yeah, Demi Trainer from Pusher Mercury. Oh yeah, there's Kira Yamato. So it's pretty evenly split. The Flagga, yeah, L Strike. It's pretty even in and Witch from Mercury. But blue is not evenly split, even a little bit. Blue is like 85%. Blue is like 90%. Like Earth Federation. As of this point in time, blue's like 90% Earth Federation. The only cards in blue that are not Earth Federation are, I kid you not, at least I can be fact checked. I can be fact checked, but I'm like pretty sure this is the case. Is Unicorn Gundam and Benager. And the thing that makes it's not that it's like a bad bit. The thing that's kind of annoying about the way this is, though, is that while like a lot of blue cards can work with each other because they're all Earth Federation. They're all either Earth Federation, white base team, like it just makes sense. Currently, Benager and Unicorn are the only two cards in their faction. Because this is Benager's civilian, because that's his whole thing, and then the faction that Unicorn is assigned to is civilian, and the only unit he links with is obviously Benager. And so it is just like, okay, if I get literally any other card, and also it also sucks because Benager's effect, Benager and Unicorn's main effect is a link effect, so it has to be. It's got a pair thing going on too, but it really only works when it's linked. Like, Unicorn's main effect really only makes sense. It, like, only does anything when it has linked, so it only works when I have Benager. And it can only... if this... yeah. Basically, what Unicorn does is if it's a link unit, once the whole thing gets destroyed, instead of both cards being discarded, I get to bounce Benager back to my hand. Which is also really cool. I like a lot of those little flavor things that it does. Like, Char does some fun flavor things. I love Char. I desperately want the alt art Char. Within the cards, I don't have any alt arts, but there are an amount of alt arts in circulation where they have, like, borderless alt art versions of a lot of the cards. And there is an alt art Char that I really... I only have normal Char, though, but he does something fun. He gets... like, when he gets linked, basically, he becomes unblockable, and Char Zaku 2 is a unit in the game, that I believe that has Char. Find it. Even though I'm playing, yeah, here we go. Once Char Zaku gets destroyed, you just get to like deploy a Char Zaku token. When he gets destroyed, no he didn't. Which is the beautiful thing about Char Zaku. And I love that because that's Char's whole thing. Char's whole thing is you think you killed me, no you didn't. And I think that's fun. That's where a lot of my, like, joy is derived from this game, is just, like, all these little, like, Gundam things I love that I'm like, oh my god, yeah, Char does do that. And similarly, with Unicorn, like, it makes a lot of sense that it's, like, Benager is a civilian, because, it, like, his faction is civilian, because he's just, like, a regular guy that has to pilot a Gundam. That's his whole thing, and it makes sense that he can't really work too well with anything else, because like that unicorn doesn't really work too well with anything else, because it's like that's like a thing. And I am running. I'm still adjusting my deck a little bit, but I'm going to be running unicorn. I'm going to be running unicorn in my deck because I love unicorn, but as of right now, unicorn is just not that viable to play. Right now, unicorn is just not that viable to play because it's the only cards that are in its set. These are the only 2 cards in its faction. It doesn't really work with anything else because it's got specifically a linking effect. Which makes sense because Menager can really only do stuff when he's in Unicorn Gundam. And it's like, okay, yeah, that does make sense. Bit of a pain to work with in my deck because, like, if I draw Unicorn and I don't get Menager, it's over for me. Vice versa, too. Like, if I draw Menager and I don't have Unicorn, like, it's kind of just useless. Like, technically, I can still use him. He still gets the, like, pilot buff. I can still just, like, attach him to whatever to satisfy a pair thing so that at least he gets buffed. So at least the unit gets, like, the stat increase. But he doesn't get his effect unless it's Unicorn. And it's a little sad. But I am determined, once they print more cards, once they release more cards, they probably will make Unicorn more viable. Because it's Gundam Unicorn. Like, especially since they don't even have, like, Destroy Mode. The only Unicorn Gundam unit that's in here is Unicorn Mode. We don't have Destroy Mode yet. Like, I feel right now, even though Unicorn is not meta, I'm going to build my Unicorn deck, and I believe, in the heart of the cards, that once the full Unicorn set comes out, my deck will be good. My deck will be good, okay? I don't deck build to min-max. I deck build to have fun. I think that's kind of the biggest thing that I've had problems with when I play is that I don't really min-max. Like, I can. I just don't usually want to. It just doesn't feel as fun when I think purely mechanically. It feels more fun when I'm, like, when I'm, like, putting together fun, like, combinations that I think are fun, that connect to things outside of the game. My pet commander deck is just robots, and it makes me very happy. It's, like, not a bad commander deck, but it's not a super powerful one either. I also don't usually play it to min-max. I play it to get my funny combos. I don't play specifically to kill. I play to get my funny combos. That's kind of how I play the game. That's how I play, like, any TCG. I'm just here to have fun. I'm not here to, like, do anything crazy. I just want to have fun. That's why I'm building a unicorn deck. It's technically not a unicorn. There's no such thing. Like, there's no main thing. Technically, if I were to call my deck anything, it would be a Wing Gundam deck, because that's the cards I have the most of. And they probably do the most. But I really just want to have Unicorn in here, because I want to make it playable. I want Unicorn. Yo! I want Unicorn. I want it to be viable so bad that even though mechanically it's not very good to have Unicorn in my blue, because my blue-green deck, I'm already at a disadvantage, okay? I don't have blockers. Really, the main way my deck is viable. Lunch break almost over. Thanks for popping in, though. I hope you're I want to know. I like knowing what people are having. I don't know what I'm having for lunch yet. I had an egg for breakfast. Well, I made a really nice little avocado egg toast. Very good. But I like knowing you. I hope you enjoy your lunch. I'm just talking about Gundam TCG because I played it and now I'm obsessed with it. And legally, this is a Gundam stream. I have to talk about it, and I have to show it because I love this game and I want people to play it. Game still in beta. I believe it officially comes out in July. I just had a $5 slice of pizza. Nice. I like pizza. I kind of want pizza. I may make pizza for lunch. I make these like DIY pizza pockets. I made this like DIY pizza pocket the other day where I just like took half a pita bread and I just like put a bunch of pizza ingredients in there and put it in a panini press, and I was like, I think I just made a hot pocket. It was great, and I will probably do that again. Anyhow, Gundam. Yeah, Unicorn is not super like mechanically doesn't make a lot of sense. But I want it in here because I'm already at I flew from Missouri to Montana to build a Gundam. I am indeed. I want to run. Pocket. Yeah. Nice. Wow. Congrats on traveling. Good luck. I think I was gonna say the furthest west I've ever been is Missouri, but that is not true anymore. I've now been to California, but I really have not. I've been in. Well, I guess I can't say I've been in more countries than U.S. states because I live in New England, and when you live in New England, you've been to everywhere in New England because I drive in like 90 minutes in any direction, I'm in another state. That's simply how that works. And so it's, yeah. But maybe I'll be on the East Coast for a job this year. We can build Gundam. Yeah, let's do it. I love building. I always think it's, and so I've been having a lot of fun. Basically, mechanically the way my deck works, and kind of the only way I can stand up to people who are playing white, because white just gets to block, is a lot of my other cards are token generators. Like blue, I primarily am playing blue cards that generate tokens for me. That's why I'm playing Char, because a lot of Xeon stuff also generates tokens for me. And Wing Gundam is insane mechanically. Wing Gundam is pretty cool. A lot of the Wing Gundam cards. Where's the rest of my? Here it is. A lot of the Gundam cards have this thing called Breach, which is unique to green. It's not as powerful as Block, but it is pretty powerful. While it's not as crazy as Block, what Breach does is, if I destroy your unit, like let's say I attack with Wing Gundam, it deals you full damage, and I kill your guy. Like, even if you block this attack, I can go past it. If I kill your blocker, the remaining damage still gets dealt to your shield area, is what Breach does, which is pretty sick. Breach 5 means it does 5 damage, basically. You block my Wing Gundam, but too bad, your base is still taking damage. So, Breach is kind of the pilot. Yeah, number 1, I do like the pilot. I don't know. Yeah, I am running Hiro Yui. Don't worry, he's in here. But I am running. Is in here. But basically that's the only way I can even like be mildly competitive with people who are running blockers, is by focusing in on token generation. If I just have a million guys, you can't block it. It's the mentality of you can't block us all. You know? If I have a million little tokens that I just throw at you, like, you can't block them all. Inevitably, some of them will get through. and that's kind of all I got. That and a handful of cards in here that have because again, we're still only working with what's in the beta kit, so I don't have playsets of most cards. We're mostly like we're sharing a like a beta box. I don't have playsets of most cards, because I just don't have them. We're in a limited like pool of cards, but because of that, like a lot of things I have, like I am pretty limited with the cards that I have breach. It's not like that crazy. Yeah. Rick Dom has the Xeon cards have. Xeon's pretty sick. I like a lot of the Xeon cards because Xeon lets me. Some Xeon stuff has breach, and Xeon stuff also has token gen, which is pretty sick. Oh, I forgot. There's also Magnac. Magnac is its own kind of deal. So it is technically from thing. I feel bad. I think I was playing Sandrock in this deck until I wasn't. Yeah, very things. I think the cards that I'm not playing right now, I think I was playing Sandrock in here at some point, but I phased Sandrock out because I only have one Sandrock, and it's just like what Sandrock does, it doesn't generate tokens, it lets me play Magnacs from my hand for free, but there's not that many it kind of suffers from a similar thing that Unicorn does, where Magnac is its own faction, and only cards with Magnac Corpse are there's no other and Sandrock. There's no other cards that get the little Magnac tag. And they can't link either. Since this little black thing at the very bottom of the card is blank, it doesn't even have the capability of being linked. It can still be paired, but it can't be linked. And so it's just like I'm still keeping some. I might phase out some of them, but I'm still keeping some Magnacs in here just because they're like 2 cost, pretty solidly powerful for like a 2 cost. So I'm still Magnac is just like a solid guy that I could just toss out into the easily. A good chunk of my deck is also just like lower cost guys that I can just toss out onto the field. Like cost. Well, Shenlong's just level 4 cost, but like Delgu. I have a bunch of gun tanks and gun cannons in here. Just because they're simple, I just toss them onto the field, and that's all I really gotta do. And it's kind of similar to like, I just keep tossing. I just have to have as many guys on the board as I can, or else it's over for me. Which is why it doesn't make a lot of sense for me to want to run Unicorn in this deck. But I want to try, because I like Unicorn. That's the kind of thing where it's like, even though mechanically it doesn't make a lot of sense for me to run Unicorn, I want to do it anyway, because I like Unicorn. And that's my philosophy in a lot of deck building. Which is why I have sometimes not had a fun time playing, especially like stuff like Magic, where I'm like, I'm super casual. I play things just because I think it's fun. Even if it's not like as mechanically, I'm not here to like min-max my deck and make the most like meta powerful deck imaginable. I just want to have fun. Yeah, Unicorn like looks cool. I'm super biased. Unicorn is my favorite mobile suit. Also, I have Tiny. Rare, so spoiled. I might have to be a little careful. I forgot. I'm gonna fact check this right now. But someone told me before that I know there are alt arts within the beta box. I didn't get any of them, but there are like, you have a chance to just pull like, there's an alt art, like not all cards, but some of them have alt art versions. Like there's an alt art Benager. This is the normal Benager. I just have the normal one. But there's one, you have a chance to pull the alt art one. And there's a bunch of other cards that have alt arts. Suzabi is pretty cool. Suzabi isn't in this game yet. This one is Gun Cannon. He is really also trying really hard to not reflect myself in the card. But Gun Cannon's really cool. And then Stray. I'm really glad that it's Stray. I love this Stray. This Stray. Oh yeah, the aerial card. Also really. Now we're just gonna look at card art. Oh, let's see if I can get. I have a couple of there's rare and then there's legend rares. The highest rarity is legend rare, but those are basically like alt arts. Like, you know, I think there's Ailstrike, which on this deck, but a legend rare is basically just like an alternate foil version of rare. Here's Ailstrike. Ailstrike is an LR. It doesn't really come across on much. Down, I think I see it. I saw somewhere that I don't know if it's correct, but I saw somewhere that all the beta cards are. I know there's alt arts, there's exclusive alt arts, but I read somewhere that all the beta cards are like exclusive to the beta set. Like the art on these beta cards, once like the set come out properly, none of these arts are going to be the same, which doesn't make a lot of sense to me. But just I want to be sure. But especially since LR, like you can kind of see the texture. It has like a textured foil to it. That's basically what this is. Texture foil. It's like kind of holographic, and it's got which is really nice compared to regular rare. Compared to a regular rare, which is kind of just like this build. The LR. The other LR I have is in my deck. My RX-78. It's LR. Head it out. Here it is. My RX-78 LR. It's also got like a bit. Come across super well on camera, but the cards are gorgeous. Like I cannot talk about enough. These cards are very pretty and they make me happy. I like that they went the texture like for the LRs. I like that they went the texture foil route. I gotta start looting the middle into the dumpster now. See you soon. See you. Thanks for popping in. And all of the beta cards are alt arts, like beta exclusive alt arts. I don't. Ariel is just rare, but so nice. Cool. I hope you have a nice day. Ariel. There's a lot of nice art cards. Like just this unicorn looks so sick. And I love this Quattro card where he's violin. Art is 10 out. I'm gonna fact check this now, or I'm gonna check if all the and the box cards. Cards in the Archie. Okay. One card. Okay. Yeah, that's what I thought. It's only the alt arts that are exclusive beta. Only the alt arts are beta. That's why they're crazy expensive. No, like a lot of the alt arts are, if you were to buy them, they're going they're going for like minimum like $400 or $500. It's crazy. Alt arts are beta exclusive, but I mean in general they're exclusive. Like all the beta cards have like the little beta set symbol. So even though these cards will be in the normal set release, they won't have the little beta symbol on them, which I guess does make it nicer. But yeah, but either way, I should probably still be a little more careful with these cards because they are all beta cards, and I think I should still, they probably will still have some value because they have the beta symbol. But I'm also like not really someone who like cares too much about card values and things like that. Like again, I'm super casual with TCG. I play for fun. I don't play super competitively. That's not like the thing that matters to me. So I don't care like too much if a card is like, I need to maximize the value of my collection. Like I don't pull cards so that I can, I don't like open card packs so that I can get the fancy expensive card. I open packs so I can get the cards that I like actually want and will use. Like I've opened some cards that are like dollars cards, but I kept them because I want them. And like I don't open card packs for the sake of, oh my god, I know this pack has a lot of high value cards in it, so I should get some and see if I can get high value cards from it. That's not really what it's about. Like I really want the alt art Benager, but that's because I want to play Unicorn deck. I want the nice Benager cards. Same with Char. I want the alt art Char. That's because I love Char. I love Zeon. Char is one of my favorite Gundam characters of all time. I love Char, and I want his alt art because it looks cool. And I don't know if I should say. The running joke with Char's alt art is that you can look this up for yourself. I will not elaborate. If you want to look into it, you can Google it yourself. But Char's alt art is him holding a helmet, but if you look at it through a certain lens of a certain lens, it is positioned somewhat unfortunately. The card itself is really nice. It's just really nice art of him holding his helmet, and he looks really cool, and it's a good card, and I want it. But also, if you look at it through a certain lens, you can come to your own conclusions. If you don't see it, I think it's better that way. If you don't see it through that lens, I think you're a better person for it than me. But I will leave that to you if you want to figure that out. But yeah, I really want the Char alt art. And the other thing is beta boxes are so limited. They've been doing a lot to try and prevent scalping, which is good. I think that's a good thing. Like the beta boxes are pretty exclusively like it is for people who want to play the game. You buy a beta box because you want to play the game, and there's basically just enough for the people who want to play the game. Like a lot of stores that are running beta events have been very strict about like capping the amount of people who are playing in them and all of that, which is kind of annoying because I want to play, but it makes sense. Like what our store did to deter scalpers was each box is like shrink wrapped. But before the beta boxes were distributed, like, we brought out all the shrink wrapped boxes, but before you handed the box to someone, they took off the shrink wrap, so it is now no longer a sealed box. And thus doesn't have, like, the resale value a sealed box does. So, like, it's not like we're tampering with the cards. Like, you show the players, here's the sealed box, we are opening it in front of you and handing it to you. That way, you know, resellers are discouraged from, you know, playing in the event just so that they can resell their sealed box. So but luckily everyone there was like, no, I'm here to play the game. And so we all played the game and had a good time. And that's kind of the scene right now. I think it's really fun. And I'm really looking forward to the full release. I think it will be more popular, because obviously right now there's barely any people who are even able to play the game, because the beta events had such limited spots and there's such a limited amount of cards out there. There's not a lot of cards being resold because they're so limited. There isn't really much of a market for the cards yet because, you know, basically everyone who has a beta box and is playing the game, like, is keeping their cards because you want to play the game. And I'm not interested in reselling any of my cards either, because it's like, even if it gains value because it's like, oh my god, these are beta exclusive cards, like, oh my god, I don't really want to resell them because I want to use them in deck building. Once the actual game comes out, I want to play it. And I want to be active in it. Part of me is like, maybe I do want to try and be competitive in the Gundam TCG and actually be like a sweaty tryhard, but I also kind of don't, because I just want to have fun. And every time I've played in more competitive events for like TCGs, it just has not been as fun for me. And so, not that I'm like obviously if I'm playing in an event where it's supposed to be competitive, then I will try and be competitive. But it's just not as fun versus when I'm just playing for fun and I'm building my stupid decks because I think they're funny. But who knows? We'll see. Either way, I will definitely be very active once the TCG has its full release. I just really wanted to talk about it now because I really love it, and I really hope that people play it once it does come out in July of this year, which seems like pretty far. I think it's kind of crazy that the beta event was so far out, but I'm not surprised because it's a beta event. Like, of course it's going to be like several months out from the actual release. But I'm very excited. I will definitely be playing once the game gets released. I hope people, if you have the opportunity to play in a beta event and get the beta box, I would highly recommend it. It's really fun. I really enjoyed playing in the beta events, and since getting, like, because when you play in the beta event, you get a box. I've just been having a lot of fun, like, experimenting and deck building with my friends and who have also played the game. Like, it's been really fun. And I really like it, and I hope people play the game when it comes out. Hello, Sunday evening stream. Sunday evening, it's 1:45 p.m. What do you mean, evening? I've gone too far. I know, I've gone too far. It's a Sunday. I can't believe Brunch and Build is happening on a Sunday. It's so late. It's 1:45 p.m. on a Sunday. What do you mean, evening? What do you consider evening? To me, evening is past 5 p.m. If it's before 5 p.m., do not say that's evening to me. 4 p.m., that's the afternoon. It's 1:45. It's mid-afternoon right now. Afternoon is like the same as evening? No, it's not. No, it's not. Afternoon and evening are two different time periods. Evening is when the day is winding down. Evening is the eve of, well, I don't know what is in, like, etymologically, but it's the eve of the night. It's like right The little space between daytime and nighttime is evening. Afternoon it's still day. Afternoon is midday. It's still sunny out. Sorry, I need to drink water. I was so impassioned. about jargon. I was so impassioned by the meaning of words. Getting into the reason I came here. Chronological debates. Evening refers to there being an even amount of day and night in the sky. Is that true? I feel like you're lying to me. Did you Google that? Are you lying to me? I'm gonna look this up. Dusk falling, the time around sunset! If I Google the etymology of the word evening, it literally translates dusk falling, the time around sunset. That's what evening is. It is the time around sunset, once the day is transitioning into night. You can't tell me 2 p.m. is the evening. It's still the middle of the day. Evening is specifically when the sun is starting to set. So if it's before 5 o'clock, don't say that it's 5 p.m. to like 5 to 7 or 8. That's evening. 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, that's evening. 7 o'clock is a little bit, depends on the time of season, time of year, but that could be nighttime. But 7 is also like arguably evening. But 8 p.m., 9 p.m., that's nighttime. It's night now. The sun is pretty certainly set by that point in time, no matter what time of year it is. This is crazy. Calling 2 p.m. the evening? What have we become? Words have meanings. Anyhow, it's been 2 hours. I think legally, if I've been streaming for... That's why I only stream for 2 hours. Once I hit that 2 hour mark is when my brain cells start evaporating and I go crazy. So I save everyone from this by usually cutting myself after 2 hours. But it's been 2 hours. It's not the usual streaming time. None of this has lined up even a little bit with my usual streaming times. But that's fine. I think that's fine. I kind of like the early afternoon. I think that was kind of fun. I had fun doing the early afternoon stream. And thank you to everyone who tuned in, even though I stopped building Gundam halfway and I just started talking about a card game. I hope everyone has still had fun. Oh yeah, look at my Miku. Of course, I sleeved my Gundam deck in my Miku. This is so important to me. Yeah, thank you to everyone for tuning in. If you have an opportunity to play in the Gundam TCG beta, please do. It's really fun, if you're even mildly interested. And I hope that makes people play when the game actually comes out in July, during which I will 100% be in it. I will definitely be talking about it a lot more then. But thank you to everyone for tuning in and listening to me. I hope you have... We'll bring Barbatos back just for the send off to remember what this stream is technically supposed to be about. Thank you to everyone for tuning in, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye bye!